a chemical called N-propyl disulfide. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it, but... Hi everyone, GuineaDad here. So today it's GuineaDad podcast episode 6. Today we're going to cover a topic, food that are toxic for guinea pigs. So as you can see, this week's podcast is a little bit different because there are some things going on, and for this week I'll be doing it alone, and next week Angelique will join us. The reason I wanted to cover this toxic food for guinea pig is because some people have misunderstanding. Actually, I have a funny story. I'm digressing again. But when we first started this business, GuineaDad business, there was one customer who reached out saying that what kind of liner do they need. So what we usually do is, before going into the liner specific, we always kind of try to make sure all the customers and fans, they're take care of their guinea pigs pretty well. So we asked them, hey, what do you feed? Where's the cage? What location within the living room? Whatnot. This guinea pig owner, she had a husband, and she was complaining that her husband would keep feeding Cheerios and white bread. So I told her, that's really not okay, and then she should definitely tell her husband, talk to him about it and convince him that guinea pigs are animals that they need more care. White bread and Cheerios, they're not in our top toxic list, but definitely is not something that we should give guinea pigs because they're grains. As you may already know, guinea pigs are herbivores. They only eat vegetables, grass. They don't eat meat, right? So their main diet is composed of hay, and they're not like cats and dogs, like back in the days when like a dog in the countryside, they would just eat the leftover that human would leave because they're omnivores. They can eat anything, right? And cats, they would eat fish, meat, whatever is available. I think cats in the countryside, they sometimes catch birds and hunt mice, so on and so forth. So guinea pigs are different, and because many people don't understand guinea pigs diet as well as dogs and cats, just purely because of their exposure since they were kids, there are some misunderstanding. Guinea pigs have very unique digestive system, and then this is somewhat common with other herbivore animals. And surprisingly, guinea pigs diet is also very similar to horses. Horse is a huge animal, but they're also herbivore, and their main diet is also hay. Horses, in a way, very similar in that if horse tends to be like a little bit overweight, the horse owners would give them more grass hay and so on and so forth. The hay is important because of the fiber, and because guinea pigs have special enzymes that can break down these fiber to turn it into something that they need. So the constant fiber intake is required for guinea pigs. So going into our main topic, toxic food for guinea pigs. So number 1, avocados. So guinea pig cannot eat avocados. Avocado is super high in fat, and it's delicious for us, like guacamole. I love guacamole and chips and so on and so forth, and like maybe some avocado toppings in my sandwich to make it a little bit I will call it a little bit luxurious, but yeah, I love those too, but guinea pigs can't have them, so you should not give them. Avocado has a chemical that could cause like respiratory issues for guinea pigs. Guinea pigs, as you may already know, and as I continue to tell everyone all the time, guinea pigs have very weak respiratory system. So we need to watch out for that, and avocado does the exact opposite. So also, avocado could be bad for guinea pig's heart because of the fluid buildup, and that's why we need to make sure if you have some avocados for your sandwich or guacamole or whatever, you don't give guinea pigs the leftover. Okay. Actually, I have a story around this. One day, Sean called in like in the morning, and he told me that he had to bring Ronnie, his rabbit, to hospital like ASAP. Right? It was an emergency, so after he took care of it, he went to the vet. He called me back, and then I asked him like what happened, and what his rabbit did was the rabbit got into the garbage can and ate the avocado, and then he did some search and then found out avocado was also bad for rabbits. So he took the rabbit to the hospital, and then actually the vet did a checkup and it was okay. Even though not much of a harm done to the rabbit, it doesn't mean that it's okay for them to eat it, right? It's same for guinea pigs. Your guinea pig might have had a little bit of avocado because you accidentally fed them or something. Just because they're okay doesn't mean it's okay. Next one is onions and garlic. So onions and garlic, they both contain something toxic for guinea pigs. So I have it written down here, a chemical called N-propyl disulfide. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that essentially it's a chemical that can cause like anemia in guinea pigs. So we need to be really careful, and like you would kind of know it instinctively, right? Garlic, onion, they have like super strong taste and whatnot. And giving guinea pigs always eat something a little bit bland like hay, honestly, that tastes like cardboard. I don't know if you saw our previous podcast where I ate hay. It tastes like cardboard with a little bit of hint of grass. But anyways, garlic, onion, I love it. Being Korean, Korean American, I eat a lot of garlic and a lot of onion, but not so much for guinea pigs. So number 3 is peanut butter. You should not give peanut butter. So first of all, just being butter, that's not good, right? Even coconut oil or peanut butter, these things have super high fat content, and fat content is not always good for guinea pigs in an excessive amount, and these food have excessive amount. Guinea pigs are small animals, and they also have a small throat. So their pathway for the food to pass through, they're relatively small. But peanut butter is pretty sticky. Just like a baby who eats like a candy and gets stuck in the throat so that they can choke on it. Same thing like toys for babies. Peanut butter can actually block their airway and block their throat, so that guinea pigs can have something really bad can happen to them. So we should definitely avoid giving peanut butter to guinea pigs. Other than this, according to this research, it can also kill liver and pancreatic cells and the digestive system for guinea pigs as well. So 4th toxic food is chocolate. So chocolate is, isn't it kind of obvious? I mean, if you're a dog owner, you already know, like, it's extremely toxic for dogs, and you should never feed your chocolate to your dog. Same for guinea pigs, you should never feed chocolate to guinea pig. Chocolate? Even if it wasn't toxic, like, if you just think about it like a little bit logically, it's a lot of sugar, right? Especially the milk chocolate and whatnot. But even if it's a dark chocolate, it's just extremely bad for guinea pigs, and actually more higher cacao content that chocolate has, it's actually worse for guinea pigs. It can have a lot of negative impacts, like it can have bad impact on the nervous system, and that also it can have bad impact on blood vessel constriction. Avoid chocolate. Actually, that reminds me. This has nothing to do with pet, but I was walking down the street in LA like 3 years ago before I moved to Las Vegas, and when I was walking, all of a sudden this 2 guys came up to me. I think this was when like YouTube was even hotter than now. Like everyone was trying to become YouTuber. Like now it's like everyone's trying to be a TikToker. But so 2 guys just ran up to me and was like, hey, can I do an interview with you guys? And they had like legit big camera, so they were like, okay, so do you like dark chocolate or milk chocolate? I said I like darker chocolates. And then he was like, why do you like it? And I was like, I don't know, it tastes healthier for me. And so actually that was the end of the interview. And then they asked that question. I was like, they just said thank you and left. And they asked that same question to like multiple guys in that area. So I think they were trying to put up a commercial or whatever. But maybe they were working for a dark chocolate company. They seemed pretty satisfied with the answer that they heard. But anyways, so it could taste healthier for humans, but it's the opposite for guinea pigs. If it's more concentrated with chocolate, then it's worse for guinea pigs. The next one is actually less obvious. It's rice. So, you know, like I said before with the guy who gave like white bread and Cheerios to guinea pigs all the time, you know, rice is somewhat similar because it's also a grain. And we don't want to give rice to guinea pigs, and especially if it's cooked rice, you know, what humans eat, you know, that's even worse, right? So I mean, even if it's a vegetable too, it's just not rice. If you have like cooked vegetable, do not share with your guinea pig. If you're eating salad, you can, without the dressing, yeah, sure, you can share some of that with your guinea pigs if it's like red leaf lettuce, green leaf lettuce, you know, small tomato, whatever. Do not share cooked food with your guinea pigs. And when it comes to rice too, you know, if you think about it, it actually makes sense. It's very sticky, it's kind of heavy, it's like heavy, you know, carbohydrate. So, you know, guinea pig being an animal who requires constant high fiber content that helps move the stomach, if they have a lot of grain in there, that can interfere with the digestive system. Also, because rice is so high in calorie, you know, everyone knows, right? Carbs, they can, you know, lead to overweight. Like they can make a guinea pig gain weight, but unhealthily, and give like stomach issues, right? So, you know, avoid rice at all costs. Same for white bread and Cheerios. So the last one is xylitol. I'm not sure if you guys are all familiar with xylitol, but there are some like chewing gums that are made of xylitol that actually taste pretty good and then taste fresh, right? It's kind of minty, right? But it's actually found in like baked goods where you want to make it sugar-free or whatnot. But these are extremely bad for guinea pigs. You know, if xylitol is consumed by your guinea pig, it can drop their blood sugar level, and then it can go to a very dangerous stage. So if for some reason you have xylitol in your house, and if guinea pig happen to eat it, then you actually have to go to a vet because it can actually lead to something extremely bad. Actually, kind of similar to avocado, right? Like, you know, when Sean had his rabbit consume avocado, you know, accidentally, he went to the vet right away. It's same thing for guinea pigs. You know, guinea pigs are extremely sensitive, so you have to go to a vet whenever they consume something they're not supposed to, and you should do it right away. I think I mentioned it before. It doesn't matter if you don't have an appointment. Some emergency situation like this, you know, you have to save your guinea pig, right? So you don't even have to call them, it doesn't matter. Or maybe you can call them and just tell them you're coming no matter what, but say that this is an emergency, you need to get your guinea pig seen right away, and then, you know, vets and nurses, they will help you. I'm not sure if this podcast was, you know, it's a very different format because I'm doing it alone because of the situation that I'm in right now. I hope some of the information that I shared and some of the side stories, which actually I didn't have as much as I thought, was interesting to you. You know, when it comes to diet, it's really important, right? Like I tell everyone every time that, you know, guinea pig's diet and guinea pigs bedding, those two are the most important components that is going to directly lead to guinea pigs being healthy or not healthy. So, you know, it's very important for us to take care of it. And when it comes to eating, you make sure you do research, and we have in our blog some of the fruits that you can give your fruits that you can give your guinea pigs, and also we have like a full-blown meal plan, a vegetable meal plan for guinea pigs. So be sure to check out those blogs as well. I guess I can use this chance as to introduce some of our products. We have herbal supplements in our shop as well. It comes in a convenient cup, and that kind of makes the bonding with your guinea pig a little bit easier, and then keeping the content fresh as possible. So please go check that out. It's part of our Nourish series along with our Timothy Orchard Hay and treats like pea flake. Rosehip could be an option if you're looking for some ways to supplement vitamin C as well. On top of that, if you have a guinea pig, make sure you go see a vet time to time. Some people say 6 months, once in 6 months, but at least once a year, try to go see a vet, just do a general checkup. Try to go to a vet who actually understands what they're doing, because I'm not saying that they're inadequate, but some vets are more experienced with small animals and guinea pigs than others. So make sure you try to find the exotic vet who is more experienced with guinea pigs. Some vets are better than the others. So to give an example, when Peanut was sick with the upper respiratory issue, we went to a vet, and then she was extremely knowledgeable when it comes to guinea pigs. But what I was even more impressed about this doctor was she actually did research just for Peanut so that Peanut can recover. And at that time, I think this doctor was the third doctor that I visited in Las Vegas, and the first two actually made the guinea pigs Peanut's condition much worse. But after doing everything that she suggested, Peanut started to recover, and then Peanut, I believe that if I did not meet her, Peanut could have passed away even 1 year earlier. So it's very important for you to find the vet that actually knows what they're doing, and then who cares about what they're doing. That's very important. You have to find one who really cares about your guinea pig. So that's everything on this topic, toxic food for guinea pigs. At the end of the day, we all want to take care of our guinea pigs, and let's all make sure our guinea pigs have healthy and happy life. Oh, by the way, so this podcast is going to be part of a blog post. We actually have for every podcast that we do, because these are somewhat educational, we create a blog post that is more detailed and more informative, and we put the link in the description below of our YouTube channel to make sure that everyone can go read them in more detail if they care to learn more. Thank you for watching. Bye.